Hi everybody, this is Rima Desai and today we are talking about the potent eclipse that is coming up on 26 December. It is one of the most intense solar eclipses that our generation is ever going to see. And the reason for that is, why is it so intense? In terms of the astronomical sense, there are the number of planets that are coming together in the sign of Sagittarius. Including, so a solar eclipse is when the sun is fully covered in darkness, it's eclipsed. The sun's rays do not reach the earth. So we have Ketu, which is the south node. We have Sun, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury and Moon all coming together. So when the sun and moon are together and their energies are aligned, it kind of blocks out the rays of light coming to the earth. Doesn't mean there's going to be darkness on earth, but the intensity or the power of the sun's rays gets dissolved and the moon completely shuts down because of all these overlap of other planetary energies. So all of these planets, 6 planets, only Mars and Venus are not involved in the eclipse. They're coming together exactly on December 26th. In some parts of the world, it'll be 25th, depending on where we are living. But it's very prominent in India, in southern India, and certain parts of the world. Nevertheless, affects all of us. So we're going to talk about what does this eclipse have to do with Shivji's energy, what does it mean to our generation, what kind of impact we can have in solutions for us. So this is Rima Desai from The Guiding Star. I love to guide people on astrology, using astrology towards their benefit, in choosing their career, their soul purpose, finding remedies for situations like these, including eclipse and tough times. I'm also a life coach and a mentor for children and women across the world. I do many virtual sessions, including astrology consultations. Let's talk about the eclipse. So while we're talking right now, there are planetary positions happening in the sky, like Mercury is moving towards the Gandanta position of moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius. Moon is soon going to go over that Gandanta position, that is called the deep waters of Scorpio, when it moves from Scorpio to from the water sign of Scorpio to the fire sign of Sagittarius. It just like dips into, it's almost like drowning into the deep waters and then coming out of it. While Jupiter is in Mool Nakshatra, derooting some of our beliefs, some of the hidden secrets, wrong things that have been happening, and changing our values, our perception towards the higher beliefs, truths of life. So Jupiter is in the beginning stages, in the beginning signs and degrees of Sagittarius. And while all of that is happening, there are other planets that are already in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So this video is not only for Sagittarians, as most of you know, but it is for all of us. Everybody in the world has a sign of Sagittarius somewhere in their chart, between the 12 houses. And so wherever it's lying, that's where that part of your life, of your horoscope, is being affected, going to be affected by the eclipse. Now, while the eclipse is happening on the 26th December per se, the effects of the eclipse, because there's such strong energies and the mingling of all these planetary energies coming together, the effect is felt 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, and it lasts for several weeks before and mainly after also. So it's not like that once the eclipse is over, the effects are gone. It's more so like the activation of that energy, of that combination. And then you see the major changes and transformation that comes through our life relating those certain areas. Now, what would that area be for you? We can only determine in a personal reading. But wherever Sagittarius falls in your chart. Now, what I definitely want to talk about is that no other astrologer has spoken about or even knows about, is that this eclipse, well, they're talking about how negative and intense and potent and difficult this is. Yes, it is, but it's actually a dissolving, a culmination and ending of the difficult times and a reactivation, a rebirth of a whole new phase on earth and in our own personal lives. And this is deeply connected to one thing, one secret that nobody else knows or has spoken about, is that it is the activation of the Shiva energy, Shiv Bhagwan, Shankar Bhagwan's energy on earth. So if you didn't know, and if whether you believe it or not, Shiv is present in human body. Shiv and Durga are present in human body on earth, and they manifest themselves for several reasons every now and then. So they are very much present on earth, and this year the human form of Shiv Bhagwan, in his human form, has gone through tons and tons of transformation, of activating that actual Shiv energy, coming to the realization and awareness of being Shiv, and what that means. And this eclipse is happening specifically on December 26th, because that is related to the birth of the human form of Shiva. That day is related to his birth on earth. And if you look at his chart, if you look at this Shiv's human form's chart, and everything that's happened energetically, astrologically, if you look at the combination of planets in his chart, it is like exploding a nuclear bomb. You know, it's very, very intense, potent energy. Besides everything that's happening in the sky, the combination of planets in his birth chart, in the sign of Sagittarius, coming together with the eclipse of all the 6 transiting planets in the sign of Sagittarius, it is such a potent combination that nobody else can manage that energy. Nobody else can contain that energy. Anybody in that place with that kind of a combination would not have that. If you're not Shiv, you're not going to have that combination. But if they did, they would die. They would literally die. It's like a nuclear explosion. So it's Shiva's energy is getting activated. Shiv and Durga together are just activating this energy on earth, in sync with all the other presence of all the other energetic souls that are the higher realms that are being activated, the 5th dimension that they are activating together to bring this whole new change of phase on earth, which is going to be very, very revolutionary. So what does this mean for people in general, for all of you in general? This means that, for one, connecting to, thank you for the likes, thank you for watching. This means that on earth, for people, for you in general, to connect with the energy of Shiv and Durga and pray to them, follow them, or go to their temples and be in the meditation and connect to that energy, because you're going to get the benefit of this transformation. Any transformation looks ugly when you look at it, at the beginning or the ending stages, when like Shiva in human form has literally been shedding his entire skin and existence and rebuilding a whole new, and Durga is obviously a part of it because she's a form of Parvati, right? So Shiva and Durga are always together. So they, for both of them in the human form, this is a huge, huge shift. And so if you connect to their energy, you're going to get the blessings, you're going to get the protection, and in fact the benefit of that transformation within you. It's like activating the seed of spiritual ascension and growth to the highest possible realm, and getting that benefit just by connecting to Shiva and Durga's energy. So that's one. On the spiritual plane, as much as you believe or don't believe, if you'd like to, there's a lot of benefit for you to gain from that. On the practical realm of astrology and what an eclipse means is, in an eclipse, because the sun's rays are so eclipsed and covered, what we have to do, the intensity or the strength of the sun's rays, the potential of the sun to destroy microorganisms, to destroy things that could be decaying and contain that through the fire, it's not there. The fire has died, right? There's a death of, like I said, of Shiva, and there's a of the non-form of the earlier form of Shiva and Durga, and death of the earth's phase, and there's a rebirth happening. So in that phase of the rebirth, what happens is, during the day of the eclipse, whichever part of the world you are, during those hours, the energies are impure because the sun's rays are not strong. So microorganisms and impurities fall through the atmosphere. They pass through the protective layers of the atmosphere, and they have the potential to contaminate any watery fluid energy, because water is emotions, water is contained in foods, in so many different things that we utilize in our lives, right? But we are concerned more about food because we consume that in our body, and the microorganisms that naturally the sun can kill, the bacteria, those bacteria is not killed during, it cannot be, the sun's energies is not there, the strength is not there. So for that day, for those hours, what we used to do way back when I was little, I still remember, and it was nice to revisit that in Komala Sutton's video. I'm glad that she's able to share that knowledge, because we did that. We used to follow that in India when I was living with my dad, and follow all the religious, the planetary positions in that sense. We empty our entire kitchen and fridge of anything that has water content in it. Completely, you empty it, and you open the taps of water in your home, because water gets really muddy and murky in its microorganisms that you can't see with the naked eye, and the bacteria is not killed. So you want to let all the tap water run and go. And you also want to take a shower after the eclipse is over. Wash your clothes. Ideally, we also wash our beddings and etc. But do as much as is possible for you. And in terms of food items, including ketchup and sauce and dips and little things that are water content, the ideal thing to do is to recycle everything and start afresh. Like you're rebirthing that energy. And you're allowing the old self, the old phase of your life to go. So if you can do that, that's the best remedy for eclipse. Clearing out your fridge of all water content, everything that has water content in your home, running the taps of water for the hours of the eclipse. Now, environmentally, people may say that's not wise to do. So I'm just going to leave it to your discretion, whatever you would like to do. But take a shower for sure after the eclipse. Change your clothes, wash your bedding if you can, wash those clothes. Also be in meditation and silence. It's not the time to party or start anything new until Jan 20th of Jan. Do not start new ventures, legal bindings, separations, whatever you do. And there may be natural separations, like there may be natural things that happen, and that's meant for your life, for you to grow and rebuild that foundation. Like I said, Shiva and Durga, like Shiva is sun and Durga is moon. So Shiva and Durga together are getting highly activated. They have been activated together this whole year. And so the sun and the moon are eclipsed at this point. Like they're going through that phase of death and like rebirth. So moon is water in your body. Moon, so drink enough water. Moon is emotions, and so you want to balance your mind by being in meditation or satsang, or just being quiet, taking a walk, doing things like that are calming in nature, more introspective rather than extroverted energy. And then the sun is the soul and your identity, and so feeling important, being out there shining in the world. So it's not the time to go out there and shine in the world and party and do things or fight for a position or ask for a promotion or etc. It's the time to just be quiet and dormant until those eclipse energies settle down after the 20th of Jan and Saturn moves out of Sagittarius. And that's when there's going to be a lot of potential for new things to start coming into your lives from February onwards. So this is Rima Desai. Wanted to share this very, very important information about the eclipse. I hope you're able to follow this, because whether we believe it or not, I've seen that it does affect all of us, whether you believe it or not. So, follow that energy, use it for your benefit as much as you can. It is a time to really gain a lot of spiritual acceleration is the right word, if you tap into this energy of Shiva and Durga and the eclipse and the earth and feel aligned and say yes to growth, to spiritual growth. Say yes to wanting to explore and grow better as a human being and in your own spiritual awakening. So this is Rima Desai from The Guiding Star. Please share my video with others if you like it and you find that it can be beneficial to other people. And I'm always open. I love guiding people through my consultations. Thank you. Bye-bye.